monopolies are bad, but the Modi government seems to be very comfortable with monopolies and duopolies, and that's very bad. Very bad. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director General of Civil Aviation, the very regulator tasked with protecting the lives of millions of air passengers, has given into pressure, ladies and gentlemen, given into pressure from corporate behemoths. Yes, you heard me right. The DGCA has withdrawn its own instructions that barred airlines from substituting weekly rest with leave for pilots. All because the airlines complained about operational disruptions. In other words, the government of India has lost and private airlines have won. And this is all happening because two airlines together control 91% of domestic aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, two airlines, 91% market share, and they are pre-planning disruptions. I have on record the statement of the Indigo CEO, who has said quite clearly that the so-called cancellations of Indigo Airlines planes was pre-planned, which means in a pre-planned way without informing passengers, they decided to cancel airlines. In other words, Indigo planned and conspired to put India's aviation sector to a standstill for the last 2 days. Hear this.
Cancellations were made for today as to align our crew and planes to be where they need to start afresh tomorrow morning.
Which means, ladies and gentlemen, passengers are eating and sleeping at airports. 1,000 flights have been cancelled. Look at the visuals now. Complete and absolute chaos across the entire country. People desperate, people angry, people protesting. And these are the kind of scenes we've seen across airports in India. The Civil Aviation Minister in the Modi government is nowhere to be seen. The Ministry of Civil Aviation controls the Director General Civil Aviation, the Airports Authority of India, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, every institution responsible for ensuring passenger safety. And at this point of time, ladies and gentlemen, the Civil Aviation Minister is nowhere to be seen. The responsibility is his, the oversight is his, it is of the Modi government, and nothing, absolutely, there is no respite for the passengers. In the middle of this, the government must be aware of the profit-making blackmail machinery, which is at its most exploitative. Delhi to Chennai, the cheapest flight was priced at 82,000. I'm not naming the airline. Mumbai to Delhi, 50,000. Mumbai to Chennai, 60,000. Chennai to Ahmedabad, 57,600. 2-hour flight on Akasa, 40,000. SpiceJet inflates prices to 75,000 to 80,000. Airports, and not just airports, hotels around airports are charging 2x, 3x, 4x their regular price to accommodate the stranded passengers. This is so grotesque. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens are trapped, and the profit-making blackmail industry is at its peak, all for corporate gains. I think the government must understand and take some responsibility for what's going on. When an airline collapses, a city's hotel market should not turn into a ransom economy. That is what AeroCity near Delhi airport has become. 3-star hotels are charging 40,000 rupees a night. This is a profit blackmail economy. The government must step in. There is no accountability. The growing sense is that there is no accountability in the aviation sector. Even after the Air India Boeing 787 crash, the Indian government did not put either Boeing or Air India or the Tatas to account. 6 months down, what really has been done? Air India was under the scanner for flouting rules 2 days back. They put out a templated statement and they get away. There's a feeling I get tonight that the Modi government is okay with this situation, which is even more dangerous. Is the Modi government happy with the monopoly and duopoly situation? Is this part of the policy of the Modi government? If it is, we need full disclosure. Accordingly, we'll respond.